Listen, first and foremost, PSA before I get the episode started. Single men out there dealing with single mothers. Hey, if you don't have the money to pay for this back to school stuff, just leave that woman alone until about September. Because these kids are expensive. Big Court, when me and Rachel Renee was going to school, all you needed was a good pair of Forces, some Levi's, and maybe some Hollister and Aeropostale. These kids today, they wearing a Miri, Prada, all kind of shit to school. So fellas, if your pockets ain't right, leave that woman alone till about September. But now, ladies, I got the Sam's card. You can come deal with me. I can't buy the Miri, but I can get I can stock the refrigerator, Mark. You know what I'm saying? I can put some Zuzus and Wham-Whams for the kids. Now, we ain't gonna waste no more time because I got the baddest father-daughter duo in the podcast industry right now. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know what's going on, man. I'm finna get right into it. Rachel Renee, you ready?
I'm ready.
Big Court. Oh, gee, you ready?
I'm here, bro.
Youngest daughter, Courtney, you ready? Esai, you ready? Mark, I know you ready. All right, let's do this. Welcome back to the I-70 Podcast. It is your boy, Jonathan Little, a.k.a. John. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell, man, so you can tap in. I'm getting bigger, y'all. I'm working my way. What's this, episode 14? Baby, we working these side, baby. You know what I'm saying? Consistency wins the race. Okay, now, the two individuals I got in the building today, I already kind of let the cat out the bag. The baddest daughter-father duo in the podcast industry. I have the host of the HOLDIN Court Podcast. Thank y'all for coming today.
Hey, appreciate you having us.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Rachel Renee on I-70 Podcast, we love the ladies here.
Okay,
right?
cool.
So when the ladies come, we don't do the 50-50 conversations.
Nice.
We don't do, what a woman should be doing conversations. We like to celebrate, especially women like yourself, entrepreneurship.
Yay.
Okay, so I'm gonna spin it to you first.
Okay.
Go Moves, Inc.
Yes.
Please break that down. When did you come up with the idea? When did you finally want to start with Go Moves ENT? Excuse me, Inc.
Man. So you coming with the heavy hitters
Because
early.
because later on we're gonna get into some fun stuff. I want to get the business out the way first.
Okay, no, I like that. So I got the concept. Well, Goat Moves Inc. actually started as Goat Moves Drug Testing out here in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. So I'm originally from Kansas City, y'all. Missouri side, where the Chiefs reside. But I'm a halfie, so I lived in LA half my life. But I came back. I got stuck out here during COVID. And during COVID, I just noticed that it was not only a lot of small businesses that were shutting down, but with the capacity that I was in, the government contracting, the drug testing, I said, you know what? I want to be the ultimate third-party administrator. But then it turned into, you know what? I want to take on Amazon.
Okay.
I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do it better. So
That's right.
Goat Moves Inc. is literally built for the modern entrepreneur. So those of us that do consultations, we sell digital products, physical products, we have content. You can centralize all aspects of your business onto one platform, and then it makes it easier for your customer to also shop everything that you offer without having to list over here on Booksy, list over here on Fiverr, list over here on Amazon, and then you got Amazon taking about 40% of your revenue anyway.
Learn something new every day, y'all. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, they do that, and they submit you. So it's built for the modern entrepreneur. And then I brought in my dad in 2024, going into 2025. So he's my streaming partner.
That's
my
right,
media
Pops.
partner.
I'm talking about. Man.
So we getting it.
Now, Big Court, I ain't forgot about you.
All good.
OG Network. Coming this fall. I want a little bit. I know you can't give all the, give everything. What's a little bit? OG Network coming this fall.
OG Network, that's me and my OG Ice-T.
That's right, shout out to the legend.
Yeah, iconic Ice-T, man. We partnered up. So OG Network will be a fast streaming network. So it's free streaming. So basically, like Tubi, like Netflix, right? And so we have all original content, and we have our own, tentpole shows. One of our shows is a show with me and Lazy Bone called Somebody Had to Say It. That's right. So it's kind of like the fast take of hip hop. We have another show called Kingpins of LA. Where
that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, where Ice-T hosts it, and we going from city to city.
Right.
And we're basically talking to all the kingpins from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and whatnot. So that'll be one of our tempo shows. We have a show called Thirst Trap. Which is a vampire flick, a series that me and Rachel Renee that we co-wrote together.
Okay.
So basically it's about ownership, man. That's right. You see a lot of us, man, the black dollar, we drive a lot of industry. We spend a lot of money.
That's right.
When you think about Tubi and you see what they did, in terms of Fox, we don't own any of this infrastructure. So if you see what Tubi did, like basically gentrification of content, they used all of the, the low budget films that we love. They used us to build up that valuation, you know what I mean? And then sold it off and then moved the goalpost to where you have a lot of displaced content creators and movie directors and producers. So basically, any good business is finding a solution to a problem.
That's right.
So this is what we did. I identified the problem like, hey, there's a lot of displaced content creators and black movie makers. But not only that, I've been in Hollywood for over 20 years.
Yes, sir.
So understanding the politics and the bureaucracy and all the things you have to navigate to get things greenlit. You have to hurry up and wait, ask for permission, beg for this, beg for that. And I'm just not cut from that. I graduated from No Limit University, so that independent mindset was fortified there. So I was like, nah, we need to be in a position of power to where we have our own studios, we have our own content, we have our own place where it can live.
Yes, sir.
We're not at the mercy of an algorithm. That's
Talk about it now.
That's the other part of it.
No, that's real.
Because Fast Channel is relatively new in terms of when you talk about the people don't know the term, right? Which is free advertising supported television. So Fast Channel, Tubi, it's ads. You just go in there, it's streaming television. So, I reached out to Ice-T and he was like, man, I love to do that with you. That's a power move. And at this point, in terms of who it's us and it's 50 Cent in that space. So that let us know that we was going in the right direction. So man, it puts us in a position of power. And again, to be able to team up with my daughter, basically merging what I'm doing with what she's doing.
Amazon,
Yeah, that's right. That's
basically,
right.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
But for the people.
That's right. And I want to say this to you, Big Court. What I mean? Just because I was telling my dog, I've been a fan of your podcast, y'all podcast.
I appreciate that.
For a while, long before I had my podcast, right? So all this is kind of full circle, seeing this gentleman, because I want to say this to you. How you are and how you move, if you come from the same environments you come from, excuse me, y'all, you can't help but want to celebrate an individual like yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Because you came from, I'm from St. Louis, but this the Midwest. We all the same.
Yeah.
When you come up in an environment like we come from, and you hear your story, it's like, man, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it, brother. Then you got your daughters with you. Legit business.
I appreciate you saying that.
Okay,
and what I always like to say is my biggest accomplishments are them. It's her and her, my youngest daughter, my son. Those are my biggest accomplishments. They've grown up to be productive adults, responsible adults, and not only that, great people. You know what I mean? And then
we got God ain't through with us, Rachel. They ain't through with shit.
And the fact that I was me and her mother. We had her young. I had her when I was 16. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I'm a child having a child. So we grew up together.
Yes, right.
So for us to kind of break so many statistics, because statistically speaking, we shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't be a unit as a family. I'm still with her mom. She probably would have a stepdaddy or two. You know what I'm saying? And a blended family. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we kind of beat the odds. So that's my biggest accomplishment. But I appreciate you saying that. And that's why, when I'm doing what I'm doing and people say, what you doing that for? Why you always throw up the foe? That's to remind, people and to signify to the world. And when people from my neighborhood in the city, when they see that, then they have a reference point of, damn, he's from right here and he's doing that. I can do that. And so I always try to inspire people, especially the youngsters, and say, hey, look, take what I've done and go further with it, because there were people that inspired me. Some didn't even know,
right?
But I try to be that beacon of light and inspiration. So I appreciate you saying that.
And I'm telling you, I couldn't wait for this moment because I had to tell you that. You know what I mean? Because
I appreciate
you know how it is, man. Sometimes, especially nowadays, man, people don't want to give people their flowers.
That's
it's not cool. Now I ain't like that. I'm gonna tell you, hey, bro, I admire you.
Yeah.
Especially I'm in the podcast space, and then one thing I appreciate about the HOLDIN Court podcast, y'all do it how I do it in regards to y'all keep it genuine. Right. And Big Court, you said something that I want to speak about, and this is for both of y'all. One of your episodes, I can't remember which one, I wish I could. You said intellectually lazy.
Yes.
When it comes to podcasting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have put it in better words until you said it. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Richard, I'm going to go to you first. Big Court, I'm going to go to you after that. Yeah. What are your thoughts on intellectually lazy podcast? And I can give you some examples if you need me to.
No, give me some examples.
And now, look, I'm going to tell y'all. I don't want to. I got you, Eastside.
Yes.
I know, baby. I know we climbing. I ain't gonna go there just yet, baby. We still got work to do. We ain't gonna burn no bridges. Hey, no, hold. No, not yet. Because you know how I go, Big Court. It's certain podcasts, unfortunately, that do things for clicks. They do things. They talk about certain topics and for clicks. Y'all don't do that. Y'all have genuine conversations, and that's what I do. So I commend y'all for that. But in that space, why do y'all choose to stay genuine and not do the intellectually lazy topics?
Well, from my perspective, it's just everything I do, going off of what my dad was saying earlier, I'm all about infrastructure, foundation, and longevity. And when you're, navigating in the mess, to me, it's very short-sighted. And when you think about in terms of your branding, your personal brand, wanting to get into different partnerships, different rooms and opportunities, your social media is now your resume. And it's not that you can't be edgy. It's not that you can't voice your opinion. It's not that you can't even be controversial. But my problem is just when it becomes trendy, clickbaity, and it's just chaos. And I don't like that. And I feel like, nobody wins in that situation. Ultimately, we didn't get anything from the conversation. This didn't help anyone. And that's why, even with the Baby Jade interview, that we just did recently where, we all broke down and we all kind of had our, angst with putting the episode out. But it was a genuine moment. We were able to hold space for someone that needed that space held. And in turn, she was also able to hold space for us. But that would have never happened had we just been trafficking in the mess.
Right.
So, I think sincerity, that's the best way to go.
And then, Big Corey, even with you have been connected to some of the biggest legends in the game. You got stories from the 90s that you could tell, before social media. Why do you choose to not be intellectually lazy when it comes to podcasting?
Wow.
Because you could, brother.
I could. I very much
And you out there in LA where it's meant to shout out to all my LA partners.
Yeah. I think, well, firstly, that's just not how I'm wired. You know what I mean? I'm from Gen X. So we don't do a whole lot of playing. Like coming from the hood, like you said, coming from my environment, when you playing the dozens in the hood, that's how niggas get killed. Because motherfuckers don't know that line. They don't know that boundary. So I just choose not to even play at all. So for starters there, I don't have the disposition or the temperament to do that.
Facts.
See, thank you. See, look, thank you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That's my cousin on the low.
You'll get court dog in a minute.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have the temperament for it. But then lastly, or I should say secondly, when I created the Holding Court podcast, it was because of a few things. Like I said, to find a good business, identify a problem. Now, I do believe that there's a space for it. There's enough for everybody.
And that's why I wouldn't call them out. Because how you feed yours, that's how you do it.
It's a space for it, right? But I believe that because it like you said, everybody wants the cheap dopamine and the easy attention. You have a overwhelmingly amount of people that are doing that, right? So when I saw that, I said, you know what? I need to provide some balance to the game. I wanted to, for one, humanize the culture, and show that, we're not a monolith. We're not ignorant. We're not inherently prone to criminality. We are educated. We can articulate. We do have etiquette. And we can still come from these environments. So I can still have someone like a Chico Brown come on my show who was a drug kingpin, and we can talk dope prices and gangs.
Yes, sir.
But then I can also have Kristana Loken, who's a Hollywood actress that played the Terminator, come on and have
John McKinney.
or John McKinney, who prosecuted the Nipsey case.
Oh,
and I can have that conversation with him. So for me, it was just more providing balance for the culture, man, and make us look good. I wanted to celebrate us. We got enough of the vitriol,
yes, sir,
and the and the acrimonious and and all that type. It's enough of that.
Enough of that.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to speak in absolutes and just say that it's just us that do it, because that wouldn't be true. But there's an overwhelmingly amount of, we use these platforms to bash each other. It's exposing, or just trying to clown on or kick somebody when they down, or everybody want that aha moment. They want to be the first to point out somebody's failure or their train wreck. And I just ain't with it, And then I wanted to do something where I could just be me. I don't have to put on I'm not in character. Big Court, what you see on camera is who I am in real life.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I don't have to get in character or turn off or turn on. And lastly, I'm able to travel this world without looking over my shoulder. Because see, at some point you have to log off and you have to get off social media, get off these cameras and live a real life.
That's right.
You know, so you have a lot of cats that get in front of these mics, they get on these cameras, they forget they bitches. And they talk this shit.
Hey, I love the quarter for this motherfucker.
You know
Show me how to do this shit.
You see what I'm saying? They forget they bitches. And then when they get off, now they got to face some real life. And, you know, two mountains won't meet, but two men will.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? And so I go everywhere and I get love. I don't have to have security. I ain't smutted nobody. I ain't talk shit to nobody. And I just want to demonstrate to the youngsters.
Yes.
Like, man, you ain't got to do that. Like, you know, again, you don't have to be intellectually lazy. You can actually comport a conversation. And like my daughter pointed out, you know, we've had so many poignant moments in the podcast where, you know, people would send messages like, man, this touched me, this helped me. Oh, wow, I have a better understanding. I like to say that I'm kind of like a conduit, like, because I have balance, right?
Yep.
So I'm able to kind of be in this world, you know, in the grit and the grime of it, but then kind of be a conduit to where I can
operate in duality.
Yeah. And I'm able to present it in a way where it's digestible, you know, and respectable, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense just because my father, one thing he always preached to me and my big brother, balance.
Yes, balance.
Balance. He always say, son, you got to have balance.
Balance. And we don't stray away from controversy, but we do it's a different type of controversy. And even if it's a difficult topic, like if we go to the Aries Spears Ice Cube thing, right? I spoke on that. And it's not a thing of you can't have an opinion and oppose an opinion, or even that you can't ruffle feathers. It's how you do what you do.
What they say, what you say is not. It's not
how
what
you say.
There you go.
Right. So it's you don't have to be so disrespectful and incendiary, but I think people do that because they want the clicks.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people aren't monetized. You know, when you look at the Charleston Whites of the world, like his platforms are not monetized. You know, now I understand his business model. Right. I mean, he goes over and beyond, and he says some of the most disrespectful shit.
For sure.
And even though he does say some real shit, sometime, a broke clock is right twice a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it's like it's still the shenanigans overshadow the message.
That's what I always say.
But my thing is, what's the business model? So I hear all the fuck shit you doing. I see it. What's the business model? Like, are you just doing it for attention, or are you really monetizing it? Now, in Charleston White's case, I get it. You know, he's built himself up to where he can go do stand-up comedy. He can do, get paid for interviews or whatnot. But a lot of these cats don't have that business savvy or that social currency. So really, they just being bitch-ass niggas, just to be bitch-ass niggas.
See, Big Court gonna have me, turning a little John on this one. See, that's what I'm talking about. Got that look. Next episode make it look a little different, y'all.
See, this is what they do. Because what they do now, the new thing is, let me be a bitch-ass nigga and cloak it in, it's content.
Yeah, and I hate that
and
shit.
It's just content.
I hate that.
But it'll be a problem when we do it, though.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Like Cardi B, cardio.
Yeah.
Right. So, exactly. So, you just content. So that's cool. So then when I pull up on you, and I'm just being for real. You know what I mean?
Yep. And look, in all honesty, that's why I don't troll with my platform. I don't, because like you said, Big Court, God ain't through with me yet.
Right. Yeah. Me neither.
So I can't be, because the moment you say something about me, I can't promise you I'm just going to go, all right, bro, you got it. I can't promise you that.
Exactly.
When I see you, I'm going to aid.
But you know what, too? With our generation, and I'll say this, just in general, and this is on the male and the female side, a lot of us haven't suffered our own consequences. We've had so many buffers from family, parents, social media. We can hide behind a screen, where in the 90s, people was pulling up.
That's right.
They meeting you after school.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
That's a fact.
And that's what I love. Like, I've always suffered my own consequences, too. So it's like, no, everything has to be above board, and I got to be able to stand 10 toes down on everything that I'm saying and everything that I'm putting out into the ethers.
And that's a great point. She's absolutely right, because, I mean, I raised her like that. See, again, even though we're in this digital age, I'm very much still rooted in the real world.
That's right.
So if I step on your shoe or if I spit in your face, I have to know you're not going to like that. So I have to expect some type of, repercussion.
But nowadays, people act like they shocked when you respond.
Act like they shocked.
Why you overreacting, bro?
Right. It's
why you tripping, bro?
Like, what do you mean? So when you come from a real space of knowing that it can happen, and knowing something can happen to you, because everybody ain't playing. That's my point. Everybody ain't.
And you say that a lot, Big Court.
I say it.
You
a lot.
say that a lot.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you, because some motherfuckers try to play with me, and I'm like, oh, you acting like it ain't no consequence, like, And I have to, thank God for her mom, my wife. I have people that kind of keep me, even Ice-T and P. These people kind of help keep me, like, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Now, and I'm glad you brought up P.
Yeah.
One of my favorite CEOs, just because I can say this about Master P, man. He's shown our community and the world, but I'm going to speak for our community, how to do a plethora of things the independent way.
Yes.
Movies, music, shoes, cereal, noodles. P got it all. Shout out to you, legend. Hey, he got
yeah.
So let me ask you this, Big Court, because you've been around him, long time ago and to the present. Why don't you think Master P gets the praise that I feel he should as a CEO? Because he's always done it his way, the independent way, the right way with integrity. Why don't you think he get the praise he's supposed to get?
It's a couple reasons, but I think mainly is because he never played the game. He never played the game. P never. He doesn't play well with others. Right. He's always been an island unto himself. So he doesn't do the parties, the hobnobbing, the network,
the brunches.
No, he doesn't do that. Like literally, like P is very he's very to himself and his ecosystem and his world. He respects people from afar, but he just never. Yeah, he just literally danced to the beat of his own drum in every capacity. I mean, if you think about it, everything he's done, has been so unorthodox. Right. The music was unorthodox. The approach of it was unorthodox. His other business affairs unorthodox. And maybe sometimes to his detriment. But he go with his move and do it his way.
Yep. And I mean, then you can't do nothing but praise that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That's life short. You might as well do it your way.
Yeah. One thing that I did take away from P and I learned from him is, a couple things, but one thing, P don't give a fuck how it look to nobody. Okay. Other than P. If he believe in it, like he'll literally get an idea and before the day is out, he's filed for the trademark. He's got the website, and then by the end of the week, he got T-shirts made. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he don't care how it look, what you think about it. If he believe in it, he gonna do it. And no matter how whatever it could come off. So but in that is what I learned is to have utter confidence in what it is that you are doing and what you're pursuing because. The vision only has to matter to you. Right. God gave it to you, not to everybody else. And that's the difference between sight and vision. Everybody can see, but not everybody has vision. Right. Vision is being able to hit targets that everybody can't see. So, I learned that. Being around him as well.
Shout out to the legend, man. AP, if you ever need an actor or something, and you too, Big Court, you've been making movies for a while. For sure. Yeah, you ever need an actor, baby? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Esai. Yeah, I'm gonna go get on me some movies. Hey, Mark, we out, baby. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go get us one. Now, Rachel, now I got a question for you. Big Court always, and he did it just a second ago. He always speak about how you two grew up together because he had you so young. Yes. What is it like being Big Court's daughter? Because you got to see him when he was still, trying to figure it out. Life was still, doing this number on him, if you will. Yeah. What is it like? But also him being, a celebrity and knowing all these famous people. What is it like being Big Court's daughter?
So that's such
my bad, Big Court, baby. I don't mean to put you on the spot, big dog.
No, it's all good.
That's such a loaded question. Well, it's kind of like how I touched on earlier. Like having my dad the way he is, having my mother the way she is, I've always operated and have had to operate in supreme duality, in supreme extremes. And when I was younger, it used to frustrate me because I'm like, you talking about church, he's talking about a desert eagle. Like, which one? Like, I'm confused.
Balance.
But balance and harmony. But when I was younger, to be honest with you, like I always knew, like I've always seen my dad as big in who he is, but he was always still my dad. Right. And I think because, he literally worked for a very short period of time. I've always known him to be entrepreneurial, go-getting, and really just kind of doing what he want to do and F the world. So I'm like, and I took on a lot of that. And it's funny because I didn't realize how much I took on of that, until I got older. And I was like, why am I getting a lot of the same outcomes? Even one day, because it actually dawned on me one day when I was out here, when I started Goat Moves and I was doing my thing, and I was like, I woke up I made my smoothie, did my breakfast, got on the phone, I'm sending emails, doing my, going out, running my errands. And I'm like, this is what my dad used to do. Like, I used to ride in the car with my dad, but, growing up, watching him in it, and to be honest with you, to go back to the growing up part, I didn't realize that I was growing up with him until we moved to Brentwood, California.
Gotcha.
Right.
And now I'm in class with people whose parents are 40, 50, 60 years old. I'm like, my parents in their late 20s, my dad got a closet full of guns.
Yeah.
I done seen all type of stuff.
Yeah.
I done learned how to shoot at 8 and 9. And, we used to ride up and down Prospect putting up Kansas City Chief posters, with artillery in the car. So it when I moved to California and you expand, you broaden your horizons, it really just kind of brought everything full circle. But I was also able to see like just how much he and my mother had accomplished, just how much of a vision you had to have to leave Kansas City, go to LA in your 20s with kids, 2 kids, you know what I mean?
Right.
And out of all places, Brentwood, Brentwood, California, and to print. But, and even as soon as we moved, he did a movie with Cat Williams and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. And, so I think just seeing that enterprising, that resourcefulness, that confidence, and that, like he would say, you're going to roll to get rolled over. Like, I just took on so much of that. And, as I got older, I just started implementing the same. So it's been, it's a blessing.
Right.
It's I got my, I have my father in my life. I mean, it's still family. You're always going to have family, but it's, even the times, the fallouts, I can still appreciate because it's like it was me coming into my own, me asserting my own power because I'm still the eldest. I'm the eldest son, daughter. So it's been cool growing up, but it's also cool to see his evolution too, to see him, because I remember when he turned 25.
Right.
I remember when he hit 30. So to be there for all of these milestones, and now to see you like, okay, you was court dog.
Yeah.
Now you big court. Now to even see him now go into Courtney Richardson, founder, CEO of OG Network.
That's
I'm
right.
like, dang,
That's
okay.
right.
So I dig it.
And she,
go ahead,
real
Big
quick, bro, she saw every aspect of it, because you got to think, I had her in high school, right?
What'd you say, 15, 16?
16, but she saw the street shit too.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I asked her that.
Yeah, she saw every aspect. So, that duality, because like she said, her mom, my wife, she's educated. She was the one, she's going to college. She got the good job,
Nigerian.
And in the church, I'm the heathen carrying guns. I'm selling dope. She's seeing the money. She counting the money for me. Like, and I listen, they can call family services now. It don't matter.
Statute of limitations, don't try no bullshit.
But even she used to help me when she was, remember?
With the packaging.
I used to help her. She used to help me with packaging.
Rachel, ain't know what was going on. I mean, put it in here, I guess.
Oh, God. I was watching those. So this is true story, and this is so funny. I don't think I ever told you this. Me and my sister, we was watching Ghost, and the spinoff of Coward, and there was an episode where Monet, she brought her kids to help her with the distribution. And I remember,
Flashback.
I looked at my sister. I said, "See, you got Courtney, I got Court Dog."
That's a fact. Yeah. So I love to watch the growth. The fact that she could see me go. She used to be in the studio with me when I was a youngster writing raps.
Yep.
And she was just a kid, and she grew up around gangster rap. She grew up around my friends, guns, all of this stuff. But then for us to do that, then watch me transition into, like she said, into going to LA, getting into movies, transition into different arenas of business, watching me do real estate, all of these different things. So that's the beauty of it. And like the duality is so, like, we came back a few years ago. Remember when we came back as a family and we were on the plane? We got off the plane. We didn't even recognize it, but she pointed it out.
Yes.
I had on a shirt that
fuck around and find out.
That said "fuck around and find out," and your mother had on a hoodie that said
"God loves all."
God loves all.
Balance.
So that's
all this episode balance.
So when she was young and in school, and I remember she would have a couple little, not many, but a few little issues in high school. And her mother would tell her, "Well, listen, what would Jesus do? You got to pray for him. This, that, and the other. Take the high road." And I let her mom talk.
Yeah.
And then my wife would say, "Okay, babe, what do you want to say?" And I'll be like, "Look, take off on that bitch first. If she get in your face, you take off first. Straight up. Don't let nobody, don't let nobody." So this is what they had to grow up with. All my kids, this is the balance that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See now, okay, so from Big Court, that's what I got to do, y'all. I'm gonna go to church. I mean, you know, because I need that. I need a big court guy. I need somebody who's gonna level me out. You know what I'm saying? I can't go get no chick for the project. But we gonna be jumping over somebody counting together. You know what I mean? Don't nobody need that. Sorry, y'all. Look, that's the sorry. Right. Now, Big Court, this is what I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
With you being, you know, doing your thing in the 90s and everything, one question I want to ask you, with me being from St. Louis, what was the relationship like between KC and St. Louis in the 90s, early 2000s? Because I get the stories from my OGs and all, but I want to ask Big Court.
Well, my experience, I'm going to tell you, my experience, it was always cool with St. Louis. Now, in jail, it was different. Mm-hmm. In jail is where the politics. Yeah. In jail, that was something different. Now, you know, by God's grace, I never made it to nobody's jail as an adult. You know, so. Me neither, but on the street, it was always cool. One thing I will say, the difference is though, you know, Kansas City gravitated more toward the West Coast, primarily the Bay Area, where y'all's influence was more Memphis, Chicago.
For sure.
So you had different gangs, different street politics, even different dialect, different lingo. But my experience with the Lou was always good. You know, I always knew Lou cats to be, G's, man. You know, y'all some grimy motherfuckers now.
Backdoor City is what we call
grimy motherfuckers.
Backdoor City is what we call it.
Yeah. You gotta watch a nigga from the Lou off top.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, you just didn't know you was around one of them
niggas. Hey, St. Louis nigga will backdoor your ass in a minute.
They backdoor their cousin, man. Yeah. Don't get it fucked up.
That's a fact. So, but I ran into a lot of St. Louis cats when I used to be in Springfield.
Gotcha.
A lot of cats from St. Louis went to Springfield to get money. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
A lot. That's how I know Big Court one of them. Because everything you saying is the stories I got from my pops and his friends and all of that. Because the stories we would get about KC, all the OGs would come home from like places like Boonville.
Yeah.
And be like, we was in there, turn it over to KC niggas. That's right. We riding all kind of shit. I'm like,
yeah.
So that's why when we grew up, and our only experience with KC growing up was, you know, in sports. When you go to state, you go play the KC side and you bring the St. Louis side together. We all go to Columbia or whatever, and you know, or Jeff City for track. We all meet up, and it was always just that little, City niggas, But to Big Court's point, after a while, you kind of just be like, bro, we 3 hours apart.
No, that's a
what
fact.
the hell? We talk different. We got different accents and all of that. And like Big Court said, the difference is we always knew KC love the West Coast, mainly the Bay, and we was more Southern with ours.
That's a fact.
With Memphis, all our parents and Big Court's generation, they would go to Memphis in May. The music festival and Stax Records and all that out there.
Right.
We love Memphis back home, man.
Yeah.
Man,
now you from St. Louis or East St. Louis?
He's like, ho.
Big Court? That's like me asking you, brother, if you from KCK, big dog.
Oh, okay. All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You follow me?
I feel you.
Look, we got KCK in the building. Put that out there.
It's all good.
It's cool. But look, shout out to East St. Okay, but hell no, we're coming from no goddamn. Look, I'm from an actual city, okay, with things to do. You know, Monument, the Arch, you know, shit like that. St. Louis, you know, Six Flags, St. Louis, you know, shit. East St. Louis, I know you ain't got no damn downtown.
Cause you'll have folks from St. Louis be from like U City. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Big Court, you want me to break it down?
Yeah,
I can break it down.
Yeah.
Now, you said U City. Now, before I say what I say, let me give U City their props. U City is when you out of St. Louis. U City is St. Louis. Yeah. When you're in St. Louis,
exactly.
U City, y'all own little thing.
Exactly.
And because then I want to give y'all just do. U City breeds a lot of the talent that comes out of St. Louis. I will get them that because it's one of those environments where it's not the hood,
right?
But it's black folks who get money.
Right.
A lot of the hustlers would move to U City.
Gotcha.
So they children who are my age are children of hustlers, right? So they fly niggas, they get money, but no, they not St. Louis. You know what I mean? But they got Metro Boomin, they got Jason Tatum, they got all damn near all our
Boomin from U City.
Yeah, he from U City.
Oh, okay.
Nelly's from U City.
Okay.
So they got all our talent, but when the police department pulls up to your home, it does not say St. Louis City.
Right. So it's kind of like how it was back in my day with Grandview.
There you go.
Yeah.
KC, but what y'all call it? Out south, right?
No, out south. Yeah. So when motherfucker be like KC, you be like, man, where you went to high school? And motherfucker say he went to Hickman, you like.
I mean, I used to live by Hickman, man, right off Holmes and Red Breeze. When I moved up here, I used to live right over there.
But in my day, so I do understand the hood change.
Yeah.
It the the hood moved out south. I understand that. But in my day, if you didn't go to a school that was a direction, it wasn't recognized.
Yeah.
If you didn't go to east, northeast, central, southwest, southeast, Westport, you know, or Van Horn or something like that.
My homeboy's coach at Van Horn.
Yeah, then we didn't recognize it. If you was from Grandview or Raytown, man, we was like, nigga, you from the suburbs.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, it's so crazy you brought up U-City, man. Look, shout out to my U-City niggas. Y'all know I love y'all. But Big Court asked me. I didn't want to answer the shit, but Big Court asked me. It's that, hey, man, like you just said, your mama stay.
Yeah, real talk.
Because matter of fact, okay, U-City, I got it. Before I move on, let me give y'all just do. It was a section of U-City, Eastgate. Them niggas was like that.
Yeah.
But they was right on the edge because where Nelly is from, it's right. It's like the west side is right there.
Yeah.
So y'all from U-City, but the west side is across the street.
Right.
So them Eastgate niggas.
And I'll say this, depending on your age and the generation, right? So in my, I'm Gen X, right? So growing up in the 80s and the 90s, yeah, like, now I do know the city changed. Grandview and Raytown got a little more rough toward the 2000s, so I understand those youngsters that's probably my daughter's age. Yeah, I get it. The Wild Hunteds is what they call it.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Wild Hunteds. But that shit's still Grandview to me. You know what I mean?
Because say it don't matter to
That's
me.
still Grandview. When niggas talking about they grew up on 100 or something, I'm just like, I low-key just be like,
That's what I do.
All right, nigga.
Look, I shut up. I be like, Now, Big Court, why is it, and I think you alluded to it earlier, but why is it so important for you to always represent the foe and where you from? And I know you talked about, but I just want you to elaborate a little bit more because a person in your position, you could easily just be like, yeah, I'm from LA now. Fuck all that shit. Like, I got the kids out. What you say, Brentwood, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do you always make sure to represent where you come from?
You know what? It's just, man, I love the city, and my daughter actually has an interesting perspective on this because but anyway, I think it's just, man, I love the city. I really do. I really, and the city, this, I'm the G that my city made me. You know what I'm saying? I learned everything from here. My dreams started here. My family's here. It's what I know. Now, LA is home as well, but this is home. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's really all about, man, so it's like leaving a legacy, right? People don't remember what you said or what kind of car you drove. They remember how you made them feel, right? So my thing is, if I don't do anything else, if I just inspire one kid that just does something special and contributes something great to the human experience in whatever field, and he says, man, it was this dude, man, y'all remember him? They called him Court, right? Court dog, Big Court.
Yeah,
and
man.
I used to see dude, man, and he was from my neighborhood, and man, I used to see him, and I knew I could do it because he was from where I'm from. Then my job is done. So really, that's what it is. And also, me starting in entertainment so far back, right? So I wrote my first rap in 1989, right? And
That's
so
when my big sister was born. Goddamn.
So you figure, me, getting a deal, signing with P in 1995, right? So all of us, you look at Tech, you look at myself, Rich the Factor, all of us, we all were very passionate about our city getting recognized in the industry, So that's part of it as well. Because, I've spent my whole life trying to bring light to the city. And like Andre 3000 said, he said the South got something to say, KC got something to say.
That's right.
And I wanted us to be accounted for in this industry because I always felt like we were overlooked and underrepresented. For sure. So it was like, shit, well, let me do it then.
That's right.
So that's why I represent so hard.
And that's why I say, man, Big Court, man, I'm telling you, man to man, I just love your story, bro, because like it aligns with what I'm trying to do. It aligns with, how I see myself moving through all this. You know what I mean? And one question I do want to ask you, I know you got your girls in the room, but I want to ask you this.
It's all good.
Your last run, when you knew it was over, you was finna just put it all away, go completely legit. You ain't got to say the year or nothing like that.
Yeah.
What made you finally say, all right, look, was it you made enough and you just like, okay, I got enough, I'm going to just go legit? What made you do your, what caused your last run in the game?
The numbers got bad.
Okay. The prices was okay. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Just keep it 100, right?
I love it. That's the track. Look, you young niggas need to listen to this.
The numbers got bad, and it just didn't make sense. It became more of a headache than anything else. Especially once I moved to Cali, because I had interest in the dispensary in LA as well, and so when you're moving around, at one point things were great. The markup was good. But then when everybody starts traveling and things get legalized, and then, you know, you coming from across the country just to arrive to someone saying, shit, I got it for that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you know, oh shit, this shit different. You know what I mean? And not only that, just I think I outgrew it. You know, you get to a point to where it's like, okay, this was cool, but at this age, I should be really, you know, doing something different and depending on some legitimate stuff.
Right.
So I had a good run. You know, by God's grace, I never caught a drug case. You know, I mean, when I tell you God smiled on me a lot, and I'm not that prolific of a criminal. I think there's just a lot of people praying for me, mainly my wife. You know, I had a lot of money taken from me. You know, but luckily, you see my daughter like, no, seriously, I've had a lot of money taken by law enforcement.
Gotcha.
But I just never, God smiled on me and they never caught me coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But
Taking
money,
a penitentiary chance.
they knew me for money. In LAX, them folk knew me. Yeah, they knew me. They was like, hey, no, as soon as I come out the airport, they be like, no, Court, come here. How much you got on you today? You know, and I'd be like, man, why y'all tripping? I just got 90,000.
Yeah. Come on now, I did a movie. You know what I mean?
You know. So, but you know, I had to grow, man, and I learned a lot with all of that though. And what I did learn, I learned a core value about business, you know, and I learned about just how our culture, we're not taught financial literacy
at all,
you know. And what I learned was I had a good run hustling, and then I provided this lifestyle and I provided all this stuff from the hustle. But then I kind of like, it's like painting yourself into a corner. And then I realized, oh shit, I got all of this, but now I'm a slave to the hustle because now I have to sustain all of this. And so then that's when my mind shifted and said, oh shit, I need to figure out some legitimate things, you know, and let me start building to match what I'm making. And that was my motivation, you know, and then just moving in different circles too, you know. I have to say, I have to give it the influence of P, you know. Matter of fact, I have to give him that because when he started, he was doing a TV network probably 15 years ago called Better Black TV. And what it was is Comcast, they were mandated to give like several TV channels, linear TV channels to minorities. So Robert Rodriguez got El Rey. Magic Johnson got Aspire.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember
I remember that. I do remember that. Yes,
so
sir. The Magic Johnson one. I remember that.
We flew to Philly and we met with Comcast. And I remember Pete telling me, he said, Court, listen, if you want to come along on this ride with me, he was like, I know you. And I know you keep some bullshit going. Yeah. He was like, but you're going to have to, like, for real, like, legitimize yourself if you want to come with me on this. And so I think that's where the seed was planted. Like, okay, I'm moving into different circles. Right. You know, and you know, just had to shift and pivot with my mentality.
I heard that. Now, if you've been a fan of the I-70 podcast, y'all know John was the worst crack dealer in the world. I'm just keep it real, y'all. Look, statute of limitations is up. Look, Big Court, let me tell you what look, Rachel Renee, you too, listen to this shit. My issue was with crack, specifically. My heart was too big. Yeah. You understand? My heart was, Rachel Renee, my heart was too big. So, like, if something, like, this how they would get me on the block. Look, bro, look, all I got is a 10.
They hit you with that dope fan.
Every single time, Big Court.
Let me holler at you.
Look, bro, let me tell you what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Get me every time. And then I get in trouble when I go back to the porch. You understand what I'm saying? Because, look, other niggas on the block hating on, because, look, I always had charisma. Yeah. So when I was out hustling on the block, I would always, be making everybody laugh, too. Yeah. Little young niggas done told the OG I done gave somebody a 20 for 10. Now I'm OG on the porch. Hey, man, you losing me money. Yeah. So, yeah, look, I think I'm the first crack dealer to be kicked off his post. Can y'all believe this shit? You know, my OG say, look, bro, come here. You hold the pistol and just hang in the doorway. Now, y'all, listen, I took my role very seriously. Okay, I never got kicked off that post. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Big Court, I couldn't sell crack, man. I couldn't either, bro. I never got into the. I'm gonna tell you why, because you got to think I came up in the '80s, so for sure it was very good back then. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I had the foresight back then because what I was seeing was when I would see some of my homeboys and some older cats, you know, they getting caught with teenagers.
16th.
Yeah, I got you. I'm with you, Big Court.
For the viewers, right?
Yeah, go. And then y'all too, you know.
Okay. Or they getting caught with, you know, a half ounce, an ounce, and they getting 15, 20 years. And I'm like, damn, that's like $1,000. Like, you know, back then, you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's $1,000 with the dope, you know, like, so the risk didn't add up for me, you know. And then, like yourself, I just wasn't good at it. I tried it, like literally
so
once.
We're on the same page.
I tried it once, and it's funny. Shout out to Cash Cars, Dez.
Hey man, Dez, man, we go to the same barbershop, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you damn right. I be in the hood of KC. You know,
let me tell you how we met. We met when I was living with my dad over on 40th and Monroe. Dez had a dope house.
Okay.
On 40, I think it was 42nd in Monroe. So I'm walking to the store, the Blue Valley right there. Now we're teenagers. We don't know each other yet. I'm low key trying to be slick, right? And he caught it. He had a dope house. And so he caught me trying to shortstop his serve. And so he came out there like, man, what the fuck you doing over here,
That's
man?
his voice, too.
Yeah, you know, that's how he
his voice, too.
talk. He had the curl with look like Easy E and shit. And I was like, what? Who you talking to? He was like, nigga, you need to get from over here, nigga. How you trying to be slick? Yeah. You know?
That's exactly, bro.
That's exactly how
that's how you sound, big dog.
That's how he sound. So that's how me and Dez met. And we end up getting cool because his big homie who he worked with in that capacity was my big homie right now.
Got you.
So, and we didn't know we knew the same person. So, you know, Dez is my guy to this day. But yeah, I just didn't have no luck. And then I saw in the other part of it, you know, that shit touched my household. You know, I watched my people struggle with that. I watched what it did to people and how it even affected, you know, me.
Yeah.
So I just didn't. To me, that, which, you know, I know in St. Louis, heroin was a big thing too.
Still,
it wasn't a big thing in KC.
Okay,
but still, that it was, to me, that gritty, nasty. You know how heroin is. It's just a dirty hustle
for sure. Got to be up 5 a.m. for that hustle.
You know, exactly. And so that's how I kind of felt about the crack shit. So that's what made me go to the tree. I was like, you know what, the time I can deal with the time now. You know, now don't get it twisted. When I built myself up, I was still dealing in federal guidelines.
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
But I'm going to have to, you know, if I get caught with 100, 200 pounds, I mean, you know, maybe they give me 5.
Big Court was getting it.
But even at that time, it was like, okay, maybe they give me 5 years. I can do that.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do 30.
Niggas always say that.
Nigga, hey,
I
was committing crimes with the time I could handle. You know what I mean?
I do that on my hands.
Real shit. I was like, I used to tell my wife, I used to tell her, hey, listen, I used to tell your mom, if I get anything over 10 years, I'm going to divorce you.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real nigga right there.
5, we can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I tried to operate with that. And so that was why I stayed away from that.
That's right. And then look, I'm going to say this, y'all. You know, see, Big Court bring us, I mean, look, bro, I only doing this because of Big Court. Let me tell my Cali partner something. When I was with the tree, you niggas was dead wrong for that shit y'all was trying to send this way. Let me tell you what they were trying to do, Big Court. Because they from Cali and all that. They trying to send bullshit this way, talking, but it's for this price. I'm like, I don't want that shit. We want the, we smoke. Shake all kind of bullshit.
You telling you it's endo, and that's really some greenhouse shit.
That
you know what I mean?
Mexican brick.
So you don't want it? No, nigga, we smoke good out here too. What the hell?
But see, in my day, when I really had a run, it was Reggie.
Shout out to Reggie days. I'm born in '94. I smoked Reggie.
I'm talking about seed sticks. You know what I'm saying? That brick pack shit. You know what I mean? I'm talking about straight from war. I used to get my shit from Juarez, Mexico.
Your shit was bricked up.
Yeah. She was around for that.
Yeah.
I have
seen this shit
bales
recently?
of that shit. She used to help me rap it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, and you got to think I'm paying $225. This is back in late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's $225, and then I'll get to the city, I'm $575, $600.
Goddamn right.
You know what I mean? But then I'm, you know, just a little bit. This is 20 plus years ago.
Statute of limitations.
Hey, listen.
Me too.
I get money with niggas in Quincy. Hannibal.
Yeah,
you already
shout out
know.
to my niggas from Hannibal.
Joplin. You know what I'm saying? So you know I ain't lying.
Your run was in the middle.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So
sorry, y'all. Let's get back to business.
Right. We didn't took it all the way somewhere else.
Hey, now listen. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
KC legend, so you can speak on this.
Yeah.
Start bench cut. Always coming.
Bench cutting. So what do you
start, bench, cut. So you got to start. It's like sports. You start somebody, put somebody on the bench, you cut somebody.
Okay. In terms of what?
Musically.
Musically?
I got you. Start, bench, cut. Tech, Rich, Fat Tone. So you got to start one, bench one, cut one from the team.
Oh.
I'm starting Tech.
Starting Tech.
Starting Tech.
Got to start Tech.
I'm benching Rich. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Benching
and you'll
Rich.
cut Fat Tone.
Yep. Same.
And I know it's that cut just mean off the team. You know, Fat Tone, he made his early demise. So I would assume that's why most people.
Shout out to Fat Tone. It ain't, but shit, that's my opinion.
I heard that. That's big opinion. Now, why would you start, Rich, I'm going to go to you first. Why would you start Tech over Rich?
So throw her in the trunk. No, Tech is just lyrically, he's unique. He's even his presentation. I like the rock aspect, and I like that he expanded beyond Kansas City. His fan base is far beyond, and I knew this when I retained a development group in Bangladesh. They're all Tech 9 fans.
Go on, girl.
I was like, what? Yeah. So I gotta rock with Tech. I like his delivery, his flow, his presentation. Rich, I know the gritters.
Yeah.
Like, you for the gritters. So he's the city's champ, hometown champ. And Fat Tone, I never really got into Fat Tone.
Yeah.
That was when we moved to LA at that point.
At that point, yes, ma'am. Yeah. And same for you.
For me, it's the same thing. I mean, Tech is lyrically superior to most rappers.
Majority of
period.
rappers.
So you're not even just talking K. I mean, he's superior, period, in Kansas City, but even in the game, right? But then not only that, just Tech, what he's been able to do with Strange Music, him and Travis O'Gwen, the barriers they've broken down, just the things they've accomplished, musically, being one of the #1 independent record companies, period, today, and having a compound here in Kansas City. Yep. So Rich, of course, I give him his props. I've done songs with Rich. Yep. I've known Rich, many years, and I respect what he's done. He didn't scale like Tech did,
right?
But he did it. Like I say, he went with his move and did it how he wanted to do it. Tone, and then another part of that too is a lot of, like, me and somebody was just talking about this the other day. People got to realize with me, Tech and Rich were my contemporaries,
right? And I was going to follow up with that.
They're my peers. You know what I'm saying? But Tone, Tone was younger than me.
Yeah.
So when he had his run, what was Tone? Early 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was kind of transitioning somewhere else. We left and moved to LA in 02, 03.
Right, yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep, I got you.
So I tell people all the time, when they start talking about the Delios and the Ron Rons and the Devies, I wasn't around for that run.
You was gone.
I was gone already.
Yep, that's right.
So what I knew of Tone was from the street, which was funny. The first time I met Tone, funny story. So I was meeting Rich the Factor at a studio in the 50s.
Okay.
Historically, I really didn't fuck around in the 50s. For real. I'm from the 40s.
Because you from the 40s.
Yeah,
that's right.
So the 50s, 5'1" and all them niggas, they was treacherous back then. And I just didn't know a lot of them, even though we 5 minutes apart.
That's right.
Because each of these sections are kind of like their own world, But then when you got to like 5'5" and you go over there by Tech and them, they bloods.
Yep.
I'm from the blue side, so just for whatever, the politics.
Same way in St. Louis, it broke up just like that.
The politics just didn't, which it was no problem, but we just didn't move in the same circle. So I meet Rich at a studio, and I walk in, and Tone was sitting there, and he had a Ruger in his hand, and he was just like I spooked him.
Yeah.
And so I walk in, I'm kind of like, okay, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So Rich kind of, in his way, was like, basically like, yeah, that's Tone. He kind of laughed, but he says something to the effect like, "Excuse my associate." That's how he always is. You know what I mean? And so I was like, it's cool. And so when he said that, I just kind of looked at Tone. I said, "No, it's good. I get it." And I pulled my shirt up. I said, "I got one just like it." You know what I mean?
Coming back
and then we all kind of laughed and chuckled and laughed it off. But that was my first time meeting him, and I had heard stories. Obviously his reputation preceded him in the streets. And my little cousin Reggie, Big 50, rest in peace. They used to run together because they were younger than me. So yeah.
And then now, Brother Knowledge back there. That's my dog George, Big Court.
All right. What's up,
Renee? LA native right there. So
okay.
I'm
what
good.
part of LA you from?
Okay.
Where? Oh, okay. It's 111. Yeah, it's 111. Yeah.
So, and now I'm glad my dog here. So when you first moved out to LA, did you keep rocking it? Because a hat means everything in LA. I'll never forget. I went to LA, y'all. I'm telling a real story. Yeah. I went to LA and I'm rocking my St. Louis hat because that's just. Yeah. Can't see the same way. When you hit the airport, you got to put your hat on, man. Like, I'm going to let you know where I'm from.
Right.
Man, I got to LA. My partner, he was living out there. He said, hey, bro, I don't know if you going to be able to wear that one. Because of where he stayed, he was like, bro, just where my apartment at, bro. Like, they be on that with me. I don't wear mine. Did you keep rocking the KC hat or did you have to learn politics?
I'm going to tell you, I already knew LA pretty well because I was going out there anyway on hustle shit, right? And industry stuff. I kind of more maneuvered in Compton, more so than LA. And a lot of people don't know Compton and LA is two different worlds.
What's your show?
Okay, bro, two different worlds. They two different worlds. And so, but yeah, I used to wear a lot of KC gear.
Right.
And I got banged on because they thought I was from Kitchen Crib. Yeah.
They thought we got that back home.
Yeah,
the only KC hats you see in St. Louis are Kitchen
Crib. And then I did get banged on one day by this blood dude. I was actually with Cat Williams at a party somewhere. And the nigga, he thought he kept looking at me crazy and shit. You know, he wasn't a Pyro. He was a blood dude. I think he was from BPS, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he came up to me and was like, hey, blood, your name such and such. And I was like, no, nigga. Like, my name Court Dog, nigga. I'm from Kansas City. Yes. And he was like, man, he said, dude, you look just like this dude named Woo Woo Woo. And so I said, well, shit, obviously he an enemy, huh? And you know what I mean?
He was HK big homie somebody.
Hey, he did, bro. And but he ended up being super cool. He tried to buy me drinks and shit. Like, man, he kept apologizing, my bad blood, my bad blood. You know? And then low key, I'm kind of like, nigga, if you don't stop blooding me, like, you know what I mean?
Listen, and that's one thing, because one thing I loved about college, right? I dropped out, y'all know the story. But when I got to hey, Mark, you laugh, my nigga. Don't laugh at that motherfucker hard. What type of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? How about you relax? That motherfucker gonna chuckle. But one thing I loved about college was, you know, coming from St. Louis, you know, I'm thinking we the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. I'm like, man, nobody fucking with us. We the hardest niggas in the world.
Yeah, every nigga think that in they city. Yeah.
Man, I got to college, I'm talking first practice. I'm meeting motherfuckers from Atlanta, Detroit, New York, LA. I mean, just everywhere down south. And I quickly realized, wait a minute, all us just the same.
Yeah.
You just got different lingo.
That's a fact.
Different, you know.
Man, it's real ones everywhere. But I will say this, though.
Talk about it now.
In my travels. Okay, and I've traveled quite a bit extensively, especially through the States. It's something different about them New Orleans niggas. Yeah. And them Memphis niggas. And them Miami Zoes.
Yeah, man.
It's them Haitians, them Zoes. They different.
Yeah.
They level of just whatever is different.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? In my experience, right? They a little more crashier, you know. They crash out a little more. Yeah. They definitely. They out niggas. I'm telling you. So
look, they make us like a damn nigga.
No, that's a fact.
Damn,
that's a fact.
You got them thinking I'm you.
Because coming from KC, I thought we was the baddest motherfuckers. Man, you get around these New Orleans niggas. I'm like, man, what the?
And I'm telling you, I found out quick because you know I'm coming in with my, you know. Yeah, little niggas gonna bow down. My niggas, I'll never forget my homeboy from with my dog from Bartow, Florida. Little small town in Florida. He said, nigga, I don't give a fuck where you from. I was like, okay, all right. Well, that didn't work.
That's a fact.
Because I'm in that bitch. I'm from St. Louis, nigga. I don't give a fuck where you. Okay.
I was on when I first got to LA. I was on that. When I first got to LA, I was on that super. Okay. Like I was still. I still had the
dinky suits.
Yeah, suits. Man. And I was just like, to be honest with you, because the politics be different and the maneuvering be different and the understanding be a little different. And so if you remember Lethal Weapon with Jet Li. And remember when he would always say, in China, you be dead. I used to think that with everything. Yeah. When I would see certain shit, I'd be like, in KC, this nigga be dead.
Oh, like, you know what I mean? Man, somebody else be horn, nigga, you be dead.
You know, you be dead. But in LA, you know, I don't know. LA always embraced me though, you know, especially Compton. You know, for whatever reason, I have a lot of ties in Compton. And I'm talking about across from Pyrus and Crips.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
And now you reminded me, I done been banged on a few times. Yeah, I got banged on in the jungle one time.
Now, Big Court, you was in the jungle though, baby.
Right. I was in the jungle with all blue on.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, come on now.
Right?
We all seen I was training day.
Yeah, I was cruising for a bruising.
Okay.
And nigga gonna ask me, like, hey, blood, you know where you at? I said, I know where I'm at, bro. I said, I ain't from here. I'm from KC.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, okay. All right, blood, as long as you know. I was like, nah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And I got banged on in the 60s.
Yep.
My old 60 nigga, too. He banged on me. I had that on camera. That old nigga was pressing me.
Yeah.
He was like, where you from? Cuz, this 60. I said, man, I'm just trying to get a picture with the mural, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I finally told him, I was like, nigga, I'm from the 4 block, Kansas City, Missouri. What's cracking?
You let it out. No, hold on, man. I'm going to let mine out, too.
He was like, nah, nigga, that's what I'm talking about. Nigga, say where you from, nigga. I want to know where you from. 4 block, yeah.
Yeah, that way. Hey, man, shout out to all my LA partners.
Yeah, I love it. I love LA, though, man.
Listen,
I love LA.
Well, I went out there. One of my homeboys, he's a model out there. So we got the royal treatment. Because y'all know in LA, you kind of got to know somebody to get into the good spots. Yeah. So, I had a phenomenal time. We went to the Nipsey mural.
Yep.
One of my homeboys, you know what the fuck you is. This motherfucker wants to wear red.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm not going with you if we finna go to the Nipsey mural, bro.
Yeah.
Because, y'all know you got to go through a gate.
Yeah,
it's like in the
alley.
back.
It's the alleyway right there. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, once we in there, bro. You got on a red shirt and shit.
But I will tell you this though, it's a little different now.
Okay,
it's not as color oriented as it was back then. Like it's really because when I tell you it's different now.
Yeah,
you will have like Crips and Bloods that will team up and come together against a common enemy.
Good for y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
Good for y'all.
You know what I mean? So it ain't really color oriented. You'll see Bloods wearing, blue and vice versa, So I think kind of our generation, they still subscribe to that.
Yes,
but for the most part, it's not really, you know what I mean, super color.
Yeah, cause
you still have your hard liners like 4 extra in them. These niggas is just super.
Just lose a hand.
Yeah,
I hope you
they're super cripped out or like Crip Max and shit. But the regular Crip, Damus and Keyways, like they just regular, bro.
And the love you talk about you get from LA.
Yeah.
It's the same for me with me being from St. Louis and coming to KC.
Yeah.
One thing, because when I moved up here, I would always tell everybody back home, man, I ain't got nothing bad to say about KC. Man, KC embraced me. And I get love out here, man.
Yeah.
But to your point from earlier, though, Big Court, it's because I don't bother nobody, man. I don't troll. I don't fuck with people.
There it is.
I'm not calling the young dudes of the city to come talk about the beast and all that. I'm not doing that shit.
Nah, so what I tell people in LA, right, how I've been able to successfully be out there with no issues is, man, you don't get mixed up in their politics. See, a lot of out-of-towners, they get seduced by that trying to be down and click up with niggas. I can be cool with everybody. Yeah. But I'm not a part of 8 Trey. I'm not a part of 60s. I'm not a part of whatever, but I'm cool with you. Yep. Right? And I think that's where a lot of in LA, they will finesse you kind of unknowingly into that. And I've had some try with me, because what they'll do is they'll say, oh, well, shit, you can come with us. We got you. No, nigga, you ain't got me. Because I know what, because basically that's like, oh, okay, nigga, we watch your back. We got you, you with us. Yeah. And then it's almost like a soft press. Then it's like, oh shit, well, bro, now we want to ask you for a favor, or we feel like we have access to you because we felt like we held you down in this situation. Nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I respect you and we're cool, but we not doing that.
Niggas do love that. They do. Hey, you good? You with me? No, nigga. No, I'm okay, brother.
That's one thing that Big Court you would never hear, and it not be the truth. But you ain't never gonna hear about a nigga pressing me about nothing. Nothing. Ever.
Big Court, man, that's my nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Ever.
That's my guy right there. Oh, but you got a question? Yeah, look, Big Court, I'm gonna be transparent. I say, damn, I got Big Court coming this motherfucker. I went to work, I ain't get a chance to work out yet.
You say you didn't get a quick pump?
I couldn't. I put the forces on, Big Court. I didn't want to mess with. I said, I should got me a 40
push-ups and got a little pump. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, now, Big Court, before I get y'all up out of here, though, I do want to ask you about your legacy building program.
Yeah.
Elaborate up.
Let my daughter.
Go ahead.
So my daughter kind of like my brand manager. You know what I mean?
I heard you say that on the episode with Jada. Go ahead.
Yes. So part of the pivot, I'm the ushering him into helping usher in the Courtney Richardson second era.
That's right.
So with the Legacy Builders University, I created it to be independent of the algorithm.
Got you.
For him to have a space where we could have other entrepreneurs, other creators to come. And it was pretty much based on questions and inquiries that he already gets. Man, what you eat? How much you work out? What type of protein? Like, I don't know if you've seen Pain and Gain, but he be getting the Pain and Gain questions, And
that man, that's some big court be all on live with his shirt off and shit, talking about debates and shit.
Man,
I'm like, hey, hold on, big court.
I just wake up like that.
I
don't do that shit on purpose. If I got on a shirt, if I don't, that's how I go live.
Look, big court over there talking about a Bay Area debate. Tracks all and shit. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody paying attention.
Hey, motherfuckers was saying that shit. They was saying that shit.
I'm sorry, Richard. I cut your wisdom. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you, I gotta tell you a funny story. So he's actually lean, big court. When he first started bulking, he wanted to be 260, to bulk. And so but it was funny because when we first moved to LA, he started getting size. And so I remember because me and my mom, and she was like, "Man, your dad is getting kind of big." And I said, "I know. Do you think he walking sideways through doors and he like pretzeling himself out of the car?" Because then he had the nerve to get a Corvette. And you 260 all up in here. You got an origami about the car. I was like, dang. But
hey, I had this white couple stop. I was getting in my Corvette one day, and this white couple, they stopped, and he just looking at me. So I kind of was looking. I was like, "How y'all doing?"
Yeah.
And they was like, "Yeah." They was like, "We just wanted to see how you were gonna get in it."
Yeah. now, big court, because you in shape and you in LA, do people mistake you for an athlete and shit like that?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
athlete. Some motherfuckers hit me one. Damn, you just came home. You know what I mean? Like, how long was you down? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shit like that. So yeah.
Now, and before I let y'all go, I always like to get my guests to do this. Rachel, now I'm gonna go with you first.
Okay.
If you could give any piece of advice, any piece, and I know we got a bunch, and I know that's loaded too. That's what I do. I ask loaded questions.
It is.
If you could give any piece of advice to the world, what would it be?
Man, to the whole world.
It could be, listen, to a young lady who's inspired by you, anything, just any piece of advice that's in your head that you go, I want to say that.
Man, that's hard.
I'll make your father go first if you need some time.
Make him go first.
Yeah, be cool.
All right, I say what I always say, bro. I'm damn near the big 50.
Okay.
Right? I'm a year off 50. So I always say you live life long enough, it teach you how to live. So at this point, I say, I always tell people to be a purpose chaser, not a paper chaser. You know what I mean? Like, find something that you love, do what you love. Life is short. Time is tight, especially from my space. I have more time in back of me than I do in front of me.
That's right.
So if you can learn how to, like, when, we all deal with life issues, and life is gonna life no matter what the economic backdrop is, right?
Yes, sir.
The trivial things and maybe some of the serious things that we get tripped up on, we waste so much energy tripping off of. If you think about it, if this was your last day on earth, what would be the weight of those things? Would it matter? So if you can capture that right now and understand that your problems and the things you deal with on the scale of life, then that's where you can reach having joy. Because joy and happiness are two different things.
That's right.
Happiness can be disturbed with any type of external situation. Joy is internal. You're okay regardless of whatever happens, right? So from this space, it's just, finding your purpose, finding joy, and living this motherfucker to the fullest.
That's
because
right.
Time is tight. I acknowledge I'm probably going through a midlife crisis, right? So with that being said, because you have to figure shit. I looked up the other day, the average black man, healthy black man, life expectancy is 74. So I just told you, I'm 1 off 50.
Right.
That's 25 years. I've been in LA 23.
That's right.
So I do another one of what I just did, and shit, that's it. We through with money.
That's right.
So shit, I ain't got 25 more fucking years to be tripping off some stupid shit.
Bullshit.
Or just, not breathing deep and not taking it all in and really seeing you, seeing her, having a moment with you, having a moment with people,
Right.
and not just chasing the next thing, and not trying to just get there. Because ain't no fucking there.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
I got
ain't
you.
no there.
Yes.
I discovered that.
Yeah.
There is no fucking there. You can have all the money in the world, and all money does is expose all the real shit you really can't fix. You know what I mean? So that's what I
rich motherfucker want. You know, billionaire on his deathbed. Like, you can't pay for this. It's over with, baby. It's a wrap.
Nah. So you just people, like I say, people remember how you made them feel. Yeah. So that's all what I'm about. Just leaving something with the human experience. You know, and my kids the same way.
Yeah, that's a perfect piggyback because we're so in cahoots, with each other. And, in terms of, just where I'm at and being a founder, being a CEO.
That's right.
Establishing a team and,
talk that talk, Renee.
Yeah, man, doing my thing. And, just what I've learned in my journey in entrepreneurship, because it is spiritual and it mirrors a lot back to you. You think you get to a space of self-mastery and then something else come up. Now you triggered, you're thinking about a whole bunch of other things because you're trying to get to this ultimate goal and vision that you see in my head. But, just like I named my company, my focus is to be my greatest of all time and pull my GOAT moves. It don't have to look like your GOAT moves. It ain't got to look like nobody else's GOAT moves. It's going to be my GOAT moves, and that's what my platform and just my whole brand and really just how I show up in the world is just you be your greatest of all time, whatever that looks like. You be the best.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about now. And if I can give any advice, I'm going to piggyback off with Big Court. This is how I know we come up in the same type of environment. It was one of my favorite pieces of advice to give because I just turned 30 last year.
Wow.
So when I talk to, my young homeboys, my nephews, I always say this quote. It was this alcoholic, or actually it was crackhead. Shout out to you. I don't know where you at. Crackheads don't really die, y'all. They don't. Go to different places.
They really don't.
You be driving like, Bob. Anyway, so one thing about me, man, I always hung up under the OGs. I was always the youngest dude in my family, youngest dude on the block, all of that, right? So when everybody would walk to the store, they would crack jokes on him. Man, your drunk ass out here, little crackhead. I would always chill and talk to him for a little second.
Yep.
He gave me the greatest piece of advice, and I always say this. I've said it like 10 times. He said to me, "Little bro, you got to live to get old."
That's a fact.
And when you young, you like, man, that shit don't mean nothing. But I would sit back and be like, you got to live to get old. Because we were cracking old ass nigga, but it's like, I'm old. Yeah. You going to die at 17. I'm 55. I may be on crack, but I'm living. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, man. You know what I mean?
But you know what I say? Old, O-L-D, outliving dummies.
See, and there it is.
Yeah.
I know my daddy going to watch this episode like, that nigga right.
Outliving. I love when young niggas try to call me old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I survived a place where young niggas died. You know what I'm saying? So
we gotta get some goddamn sound effects up here. That was a bomb moment.
He got shirts.
Yeah, man. We gotta get some of all that shit up in here.
That's real shit. I survived an environment where men died young. So, you hope to get to this point. And you hope to do it with the grace and as good as I've been able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
They caught out here still swole on you young niggas. Telling y'all better relax, bro.
When these young niggas, man, listen.
Malnourished ass young niggas.
Man, they either malnourished
fuck wrong with y'all. You better watch yourself.
They got titties in the gut.
Yeah, man, right. Like, you little niggas ain't shit without them pistols. I've been telling y'all that.
That's a fact.
I've been telling y'all that.
That's a fact.
And listen, and then look, now, brother knowledge, you work in a place where all these little young niggas come to. And they're washing clothes and giving them commissary, ain't they? Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. They got the sticks and they got the, the switches until you get up in behind them walls. Ain't none of that, So and the message to the youngsters, I understand. I know it's difficult from that space to be able to see it, right? But all the trivial shit that they risk it for, trust me, when you get to my age, none of that shit is gonna matter. I guarantee it's not gonna matter because if you're not careful, because the streets don't love nobody.
Nope.
Right? And you don't have there's not a retirement plan. And the streets, you can't get a home loan, you can't get health insurance, and you find yourself, you fuck around, you have no skills, you've been in the streets, and you kept it real. Oh, you're a street nigga. But at the end of the day, the youngsters don't respect that. Right. Because you burnt out to them. So now you find yourself, too young for Social Security and too old to get a job with no skills.
Fucked up out here.
Fucked up, right? So trust me, the streets don't love you. They don't. It's nothing anything that I did in the street, it's not useful to me now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's not useful. And when you get to this age and you talk about investments and you talking about the shit that count, like I can just tell my daughter, we was going through the hood. I was telling my youngest daughter, some hood stories and different things like that. It's cool to tell. she can't do nothing with that shit.
Yeah,
that's not her reality.
Yeah, it's good for it's good for a story, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
But I can pass her down some wealth. I can teach her how to maintain it. I can teach my oldest daughter skills. Obviously, I have. For
that's
her
right.
to be a founder. So that's the real shit. All that tough shit. The cemetery full of tough niggas. And
you feel me on that one, did you? Look, we there, baby.
The other side of that, the cemetery full of tough niggas, but then the penitentiary is full of niggas who had to show them niggas what time it was. So it's a lose-lose situation. So tough ain't shit.
Yeah.
So nigga live.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
God damn it, that's what I'm talking. Hey, Mark, how we doing? Because these busy people, I don't want to keep it too much longer. I keep my hour, bro. I love my hour. Because listen, Big Court, what I always like to say, I do this for the truck drivers.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I do this for the truck drivers.
Me too.
I make sure I get that hour. Yeah. Hey, I look out for y'all, baby. You in that truck right now.
Shout out to the truck drivers. They keep us going, man.
Look, I'm so glad I got to meet y'all.
Yeah.
Because I'm knowing that I'm aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's right.
Because y'all on the level where y'all get legends to come in. I'm on my way, y'all.
Hey, your vibe attracts your tribe, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Now, make sure you like, subscribe, share to the Holding Court podcast.
Thank you, brother.
And everything else they got going on. Wait a minute, before they get up out of here, let me do it one more time. Make sure you follow Goat Moves Inc. on Instagram.
Thank you, yes.
Go on right to her Instagram. Or you can just go to her personal page. It's there. Okay. You go over to Big Court. Big Court got a whole bunch of shit on his page. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We just sift through the shit. You know what I'm saying? Legacy Building, what is it, .com? Let me ask you.
Legacy Builders University, and it's on school. Or you can go to iambigcourt.com.
And then be on the lookout for the OG Network.
The OG Network. That's it, the
Ice-T.
OG Network. So listen, that's where y'all need to go. Tubi's cool and all that, but we gonna have, original content. OG Network gonna be taking over. We got thousands of titles. We got our own original content, and we own it. It's owned by us.
Greenlighting out there.
Yeah, we greenlighting projects the whole nine.
And look, they ain't said it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be in a movie or two. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna pop up. I'm gonna just be outside just saying, like, I know Big Court. What the that's my cousin. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
So one more time, I want to thank y'all for coming through. It's been a pleasure having y'all. Big Court, like I said before, I think a lot of fathers are gonna love this one. You got your daughters in the building. That's a father over there, boy. This is what you need to be trying to get to. Hey man, it's your boy Jonathan Little, aka John I-70 Podcast, and we out.